Hello, Brian.
Uh,
Welcome. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking time out to speak with me.
Thank
Uh,
you.
my name is Immani Love. I'm recording on behalf of Blackout Magazine, and I just kind of wanted to open up with the way I do just about every interview, and I ask you to tell our readers who you are, your pronouns, what you do, and what led you to it.
My name is Brian Hinkson, he, him pronouns. And what I do is for the past 10 years, I have worked in the radio industry. I work at Cox Media Group currently, but I also do the Big Gay Radio Show with my co hosts, uh, Chris Gorman, Esme Russell, also Clara Leeson's in the mix. She does our news and then Sean Kelly does our voiceover. So we've got a big squad when it comes to that. And with the Big Gay Radio Show, we talked about our community and what you know uh, what the issues are, and we have a pretty eclectic bunch with that when it comes to our co-hosts. We have Esme Russell just had her 63rd birthday. Trans, we call it the trans queen of radio. But yeah, she's uh, Latina, she's Cuban, and she brings a good perspective. And Chris, we have uh, white male, does himself the tweet radio twink, I think,
Radio
something like
Twink, yes.
that. Yeah, and then myself, well, he's also Gen Z, and then myself, black man who is you know, the millennial voice of the bunch, and we when all three of us get together, all four of us, sometimes when Claire is on, um, yeah, we just make good conversation and whatnot, and then yeah. And otherwise, that I just graduated from SPC, St. Petersburg College. I have my associate's degree in graphic design.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations.
Thank you. I've been on the job hunt since, but I'm still loving my career in radio, and I still do want that to, continue. But graphic design, I feel like is more of a notch under my belt and whatnot. So
Awesome. Now, you had our editor, Tamara Lee, on the Big Gay Radio Show recently.
we
Um,
did,
how did you
yeah.
enjoy that?
Yeah, she was a joy to have on. I believe we've had her on twice. Yeah, we've had her on twice. And just she's a great voice to the community, the LGBTQ and the Black community. And yeah, she's been a joy to have on. Her perspective is so unique, and she brings a lot of experience to the table and to the conversation that we had with her. And it
Absolutely.
was yeah, it was a pleasure to have her on, and I know Chris would want to have her on, and more in the future.
Awesome. Now, tell me about your experiences as a Black gay man on this show and how you feel that you relate to the POC community. Do you think that your presence on the show draws in more of the POC community for representation's sake?
I think so. Being a gay Black man, I'm always like we're the triple minority. We're the gay, Black, and then whether or not we're male or female. And it's just each one of us, whether male or female, we bring a different perspective to the community, and it's we just it, I didn't grow up the way Chris or Esme did, whereas Esme has English. I don't think is her second language. She's a first generation born Cuban in America and in Florida. Chris, he's born and raised here. Unlike me, my upbringing, I mean, I've never lived in one place my whole life. And that was because I was born a military brat. And that brings a different perspective to it. Whereas, you know, my mom's light skin, my dad's dark skin. They're still both, Black people. And, just being that in the military, I was born in the South. whereas my whole family is from Queens, New York.
Oh,
So we got a whole bunch of dialects in my family, and might not even sound like my mom or my dad, but they whole bunch of New York accents up there, but otherwise, yeah, I was born in Louisiana. I moved to Germany. I've been to, and then we moved back to the States, to Indianapolis. I say I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. And then I moved to Florida almost 20 years ago, but I think we're on year 18. But, um, but yeah, and then what I bring to the station in our big gay radio show, like you said, we're all from different things. I'm the millennial of the bunch because anywhere from 1980 to 1990s, I think is what we are. And, as compared to Chris, who hasn't really experienced much, and
right,
then compared to Esme, who's experienced a lot,
right.
it's like I'm somewhere in the middle where it's like, the only thing I know is turn of the century, you know, Britney and Usher were all good in my era, and then like, we ushered in technology. We're the first teenage group of 9/11. So when when I bring that up, it's just like it's different things. I think we learn a lot from each other because as young as Chris is, I still learn a lot from him. As old as Esme is, I still learn a lot from her. So our three perspectives, we just mesh. It's magic, I think.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about you in general. Do you have a favorite phrase or a motto that you tend to live by?
Yes, I have it tattooed on my arm. It's back here on my arrow. I don't know if you can see it. There's a light that shines, but it's the arrow one.
Okay, I can't see it because of
Okay.
the glare. What does
Well,
it say?
it says this too shall pass. And I think it's one of those uh it's a cliche quote, yes, but over time I've learned that this too shall pass. Good things happen. You have to relish the moment. And once you relish the moment, you move on from there. You don't stay stagnant in it, you move on from there. Um, Bad things happen. And when you do, live in the moment, learn from it, but move on from it. Because time's going to pass. Time's going to pass no matter what happens, good or bad things. And once it passes, you just have to move on. Now, a big part of that, and I got this tattoo. Well, I have five tattoos now. Um, and I have one on my back. I have the rest on this arm, actually. One's for my mom, one's for my dad. I lost my mom about 10 years ago, and then I lost my dad um, during Hurricane Milton. Not because of Milton, but he had cancer. He was going through it. The night Hurricane Milton happened, you know,
I'm
it
sorry.
did. So thank you. But I have dog tags here because my dad was military, and I have a kind of an angel wings heart here. But this too shall pass. I got that right after not immediately after, but I think it was like 2016. Um, and it just showcases that, you know, I went pretty rough through a pretty rough patch when she passed. And so
Yeah.
that's one thing I had to learn was, I had to learn that it was her time. And once I did, I was like, I kept reflecting on this quote that eventually I got it on my body. So, you know,
Oh, that's beautiful. I think it's a really great sentiment, especially for the times that we're in right now, dealing with everything that our community is facing. That is pretty apropos of what we're dealing with as a community. So
yes,
kudos for already being ahead of the game on that one. Now,
yeah, yeah.
another question I like to ask, and I love to hear the answers to this because it's different for everyone. But if you could say one thing to your 13-year-old self, what would it be and why?
Hmm. I have to reflect on where I was at 13. Let's see, the year was, I think it was before 95 and maybe 96. So I was living in the DC area. I was probably in middle school. I still remember one big. I had really bad pneumonia when I was
That's
14.
okay. Somewhere around that area. Somewhere around that
So
era.
definitely not.
Your
You know,
young teenage self, or
yes. So
what do you
I'm just
say to
thinking
that?
about that. So um, that is going to be okay. Um, that's just. I mean, it sounds simple, but
Sometimes the
it's
simplest statement is exactly what needs to be said.
yeah, because you know. You, you know what you know in the future, and if you have to tell your 13-year-old self who's just concerned about being maybe popular in school or getting good grades or being on a sports team. Uh, you know, it's it's big to them when you're little, but to us, it's just like, oh, So I would say it gets better, and I would say back right around then is when I was finding myself too, at least sexuality wise. I think that's puberty is always a hard time, so I,
Exactly.
I was definitely trying to find myself back then, and it was like, so I would probably say it's going to work out.
Awesome. Now let's talk about playing on a sports team because you are very active in the softball community. Tell me more about that.
Yes, so I started the gay softball league um, in 2008. Um, the organization went through a name change. It was called NAGA at first, National Amateur Gay Athletic Alliance Association. Now they changed it to iPride, which is International Pride, pretty much. Um, and yeah, I've been a part of that since 2008. But that organization has been around since the 70s. So yeah, and it's great to be a part of, and it's bringing together sportsmanship for a community that might otherwise feel marginalized in the pop sports community. The pop sports meaning your big four sports: baseball, basketball, football, um, hockey, maybe. But yeah, whereas you see all these straight athletes, or dubbed straight athletes, uh, playing the sports that they were in. But something we see when we're in the '90s and the 2000s, and then you see all these athletes coming out after the fact.
Right.
Um, what's interesting about me is, like I said, I talked about when I was 13, trying to find myself. Finally found myself when I was 19, and back when I was 19, I was doing track and field back at George Mason University, and I lived in Virginia. And you know, finding myself out at 19, I'm like, okay, I'm confident in who I am. But when I was playing sports, I was closeted. And then I quit sports. Well, I quit running uh, in my sophomore year because I kept getting injured. I didn't see why I would go in and out of the training room when I was like, I'm not really enjoying the sport. I'm taking an ice bath. It's just like a pretty much
Oh,
an ice plunge almost every day. So I
oh,
walked away from it. And as soon as I walked away, uh, I came out to a lot of my former sports people who either said they knew or they was like, they were like, I'm glad you came out to me. I'm glad you confided in me to do that, but
right.
otherwise, yeah. But I've been sporty for a very long time. It started when I was tumbling as a kid. My mom put me in gymnastics. I played soccer. I went into track and field in high school and college, and then yeah, and then after that, I just started working out on my own. And then going into the softball community, I had to be convinced 3 times to do it. I had a friend that was, we used to party together at Pulse, and this is back in Orlando. And first time it was like, oh, okay, okay, shake it off. Second time, like, you should really join. You like, I can give you contact with somebody. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. He never gave me contact. Third time, he was like, you should join. I'm like, okay, who do I contact? So since then, it's been magical. I didn't have any experience in the sport, but I tell you, I could run bases like nobody else.
Awesome. That is
So
phenomenal. I mean, to have that outlet and be your authentic self in sports is a rarity. So kudos
yeah,
to you for having the strength to do that, to follow through, and to actually keep going all these years. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think I'm reaching year almost 15 years. And as of now, I everybody in the league knows me. That's one thing. Two, I coach. And three, I play. So I love getting people in the league who have no experience, and then they come in and then they learn something, just like I did.
Awesome.
So, like the talents I have did not come overnight, but I just love teaching and enjoying and everything. So, and I'm part of the league's Hall of Fame too. So,
Oh, wow.
mhm.
Congratulations. That
Yeah,
is,
that was back in 2023. So, yeah,
oh, look at
yeah.
you, awards and everything. That
Thank
is
you. Yes,
phenomenal.
thank you.
So, last question, and this is something that I try to kind of sum it up. But if there's one thing that you want people to know about you that we haven't spoken about or take away from this interview, what would it be?
Hmm. I haven't spoken about. I feel like I already know I'm military bad. I feel,
So we've
I
spoken about everything, is what you're saying.
yeah, I will say this. I'm a movie junkie. I
Oh,
love movies. Before I came on this interview with you, I was watching the interview with on Sherry Shepherd's show. It was the cast of Sinners
oh,
with Michael B. Jordan, and it's directed by Ryan Coogler. That movie comes out this weekend, and I cannot wait. I can't
oh, I
wait to
love
see
it.
it. And I have a movie A-list pass, and I'm able to sign up for 3 movies a week, any format, and just to go see them. And yeah, I'm gonna catch up
Calling
on
all movie
movies.
buffs, reach out to Brian.
Oh yes, yes, yes. And I can give you, any any review you want. And there is the Mean Girls quote for Gretchen Wieners. That's why her hair is so big. It's full of information. That's why my
Information,
head.
ideas.
Yeah, and that's why my head's so big. It's full of movie trivia. I
That's
could probably rule a movie trivia thing too.
awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time out. Fantastic. Kudos and good luck with the radio show, with your new degree, and with your softball career.
Thank
We
you. I
thank you so
appreciate
much
it.
for taking time out, and we look forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you. And